Stand by for action.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Anything can happen in the next half hour.
A very, very good evening to you and welcome along to the fastest aviation show on YouTube with my good self Stu Bear on Air Show World. Well, for the next 60 minutes, non-stop action all the way, and to start off, we've got the Lancaster. Some fantastic flybys there by the Lancaster. They were all from Shuttleworth, but right now, the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight with, of course, the Spitfire and Hurricane, and this is from the Midlands Air Festival.
Now coming in low from the right, the Hurricane. His Angels 1-5, Reach for the Sky, and the Battle of Britain. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. That is incredible, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for that fly past. Celebrating the 80th anniversary this year of Operation Chastise, the bombing of the dams, accomplished by 617 Squadron, led by Guy Gibson. The Typhoon today, just hanging on there, if you see that very high angle of attack. Keep formation with the Lancaster. Typhoon today flown by Matthew Brighty, Flight Lieutenant, who also flew with 617 Squadron. Certainly not on the dams raid. That is simply brilliant, ladies and gentlemen, and this is a first here at Ragley Hall.
What you could hear there was so special is those beautiful engines of the Lancaster, and then completely overtaken by the roar of the Typhoon.
That is amazing. Look at the size of that fighter compared to the 4-engine heavy bomber of World War II.
So we were expecting 1 fly past. We weren't expecting 3. This is really super special.
That is truly an amazing sight.
So both these aircraft are based at RAF Coningsby up in Lincolnshire. Their hangars are very close together. They've got a very strong team bond. This is the break.
Go. Look at that.
Oh boy, definitely look at that. That was amazing. And the Midlands Air Festival, hey, it's coming up at the end of May. Get your tickets right now. So we saw the Lancaster and the Typhoon, and right now, here it is, the full display of the Typhoon, Blackjack himself. Or should we say herself? Keep the messages coming into the chat room, and I'll say hi to as many folks very, very, very soon.
Adam also designed the Gina livery for the 75th BOB anniversary, which you may remember. Onto the A-axis. Again, in from the right, he's going to conduct knife edge maneuvering.
Loving all the hearts in the chat room. Keep them rolling.
At 9G, air is being forced into his G-suit, compressing his muscles, trying to keep the blood from draining from his head. Here's the on-crowd, gear down barrel roll.
Very quickly in the chat room, saying hi to Andrew C, Webbo, Becky Davis, David Reed, Mikey, Mark Riches, UHN 100, Christina.
Speed to probably, as it's into wind, below 100. IG turn. Sainty is unable to even lift his arms at all. And into the corkscrew. The Eurofighter has a hand-on throttle 6 system though, which means Sainty can at least safely control the aircraft, even though he can't lift his arms. The G applied to his body will now make him weight equivalent to a Formula 1 racing car. Into the knife edge pass, then invert, and then push again. And it can be quite painful. On crowd back onto the B, into the quarter clover, Sainty's hardest manoeuvre, technically difficult to get the exact 90-degree turn as he rolls into the stick, burners on, he's going to exit the display, back home to his Midlands. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the 2021 Royal Air Force Typhoon display.
Oh boy, is that something, and so is this. Something you don't see very often. A couple of Typhoons landing at East Midlands Airport. This was from that very same weekend when we filmed over at the Midlands Air Festival. And they based themselves at East Mids Airport, which we're going to see in just a moment. Mike Fletcher, it certainly was fantastic. There we go, looking directly down the runway. Well, how the devil are you this Friday night? Andrew C is with us, Gary Inge, Adu, and also Andrew C puts a great message in. Mike Fletcher, Owen Pole, Piotr is also with us, UHN 100, and who else could we say hi to? Gillian Peter, how the devil are you as well? Great to know you're watching the show. Becky Davis, Derek Reed, and who else have we got in this list that keeps on going and going? Don't forget, keep those hearts floating through the chat room. Love to see it. Also saying hi to Craft Draft. That's a great name, isn't it? Craft Draft. We love it. Great to have your company tonight. Also saying hi to Mikey and my good friend Andrew Herbert. Keep watching carefully. We're going to see Andy very, very soon. Christina, how the devil are you as well? And of course, Mr. Mark Webbo Webster. I'm sure he's enjoying this. His favourite airport. It is East Midlands Airport. Quite a special week this week, celebrating 60 years of East Midlands Airport. It's had different names. At one point, they even called it Nottingham Airport. But, hey, it should be Castle Donington. And I will never forget the takeoff on the Monday morning. Look at that. That was absolutely fabulous. Well, we've got more from Blackjack coming up just a little bit later. But We've been looking at the Midlands Air Festival, and if you haven't got your tickets yet, hey, don't stall any longer. Get them very, very, very soon, because it's always a complete sellout. And just look at this beautiful backdrop. They have the air show, they have the night fire on the Friday night, an amazing fireworks
I'm
display.
Peter Anderson, Ando, the commentator from Down Under, here at Midlands Air Festival at Ragley Hall, and you're watching Air Show World with Stu Bear.
And of course, Ando is there. You just saw him doing the introduction. He's the brilliant commentator from Down Under. Here's a couple of more shots. These were taken by my good friend James, and showing it from a different angle at East Midlands Airport. These are beautiful shots. Enjoy this. And good evening to Alex, aka Black Cat. We certainly love cats. There we go. Just watch this. It's brilliant. So it took off, it did its display at the Midlands Air Festival, and here it is, coming back into land at EMA. Marcus Canfield, you bet your bottom dollar on it. I will be at Shuttleworth for the first air show of the year, and I'll be there from the Friday till the Monday, so certainly going to make the most of that. And look who's just turned up into the chat. Put a message in. It's my good friend, Dickie McVitie. How the devil are you? Great to see you, my man. Well, I hope you enjoyed that Blackjack special. And of course, some very rare footage there. You don't very often get them down at East Midlands Airport.
Hello, I'm Spencer, and you can hear my show every weekday afternoon from 1 till 4 on Caravan Radio. It's a radio station for the caravan and motorhome community, and it would be great if you can come and have a listen. But what I'm here to do now is to introduce Air Show World with Stu Bear.
Hey, my good friend Spencer, and you can catch Stu Bear between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. every weekday. Okay, for the next few minutes, I'm going to go absolutely super quiet, turn the sound up, enjoy the brilliant stereo split of Warbirds.
But now, here come the Corsair and the Tomahawk. The Allies came to develop tactics better suited to countering Zero. The Corsair was able to outclass the Zero and other enemy fighters in most aspects of aerial combat. The US Marines employed it. Of 2 US Army aircraft pursuit groups stationed in Hawaii and Wheeler Field and Bellows Field trying to follow. It says something for the improved tactics that the US forces developed to counter the Zero, that while early in the war the Wildcat was outclassed by its Japanese counterpart in the Pacific theatre, when those tactics came into being, the Wildcat became much more effective against it, and the Lockheed P-38 Lightning and the Grumman F-6F Hellcat were better still. The Curtiss P-36 Hawk, mid-1930s design, one of outstanding flying qualities, and ordered to quantity in the late 1930s. While the P-40 family was soon under development to replace it, some P-36s based at Pearl Harbor saw the type's sole combat in US service. They shot one of the main actions in which the type participated. Probably the best French Air Force fighters at the time. The first Allied aerial victories on the western front of World War II involved 175 shooting down a pair of Messerschmitt PF-109s in September 1939. Like somehow one of those American fighters was successful countering the Japanese opponent. And with a wing rock, it admits defeat as we get ready to see some final flypasts from the P-40C, the Hawk 75, the Wildcat, and the Corsair.
artillery bomb by the B-29s. Entire cities were destroyed, while others were left smoking and paralyzed. Millions of Japanese were forced to flee. In these final days of the war, air power and air power alone was bringing a nation to its knees.
In the Korean War of 1950 to 53 as night fighters and close air support platforms with the US Navy and Marine Corps. French naval aviation, the Aviation Naval, used them in Indochina, Suez, Algeria and Tunisia. And their last hurrah came in 1941. By the Hawk 75 at the controls of that was Brian Smith, and the beautiful silver P-40C Tomahawk from the fighter collection also. An aircraft that's appeared at a couple of recent Flying Legends displays, but not at one of the IWM shows at Duxford, marked up as hack aircraft for senior officers.
I just love the sound of Warbirds. More coming up in just a moment. Very quickly saying hi to Alan Burton. Also, we have Karen Kokoran and Steve Wyatt. Keep the messages coming in and enjoy more fantastic, beautiful... Oh, listen to that. And also saying hi to Marion Lane as well. Good to see you. And I've got to tell you, these used to be my favourite shows at Shuttleworth, the evening shows. They are fabulous.
you can take off your discretion. Surface wind is 020 degrees and 1 knot.
Speed 6 is still warming, I'll catch you up.
Copy, and Racer 2 Mugol is taxiing for a similar immediate departure.
Mugol, roger, runway 02, the clear for you 1019.
Copy.
Speed 6, taxi, immediate departure.
Speed 6, taxi report lined up runway 02, CQ, FE 1019.
Report lined up 02, speed
2, take off your discretion, 020 degrees 13 knots.
6. Taking off, speed 6, Racer 3. Vic, go. Echelon right, go. Straight.
Probably the one thing the designs, or pre-designs have in common is the engines, of course, were de Havilland engines and very reliable. And for racing aircraft, that was the key criteria.
Braking.
Subsequently eloped with Percival's wife, and Percival burned the original plans of revenge. Featuring the wing that is almost entirely landed in
Visual.
This is Andy, and you're live with Stu Bear with Airshow World.
And Andy is in the chat room right now. There you go, putting a big smile on our faces. That's Andrew Herbert. Okay, right now. From the sublime to the ridiculous, the super sound, the noise that it brings. Here it is, the F-15 QA.
Two aircraft here were delivered to RAF Lakenheath last week as part of their delivery flight via these two air show appearances to Qatar. We're very honoured to have the first of those European babies on the Saturday in 2024 into land after a thunderous demonstration. Matt Giese and Michael Quintini from Boeing on the F-15 QA Aviation.
Hello, my name is Colin Baker, and you are watching Air Show World with Stu Bear.
What an amazing sight with that fantastic fully loaded F-15 QA. Coming up right now, we've got a brand new feature for you. We call it Classic Cuts.
Ground leader 8, holding Charlie Palford. Squawk 0477, not above 3,000 feet, EQ&H. Okay, can I have somebody down in the blue apron? That's got 6670, thank God, 670, thank you for chute being extended yet again. Probably noticed already, because the wind's fairly light here, it saves an awful lot of time if aircraft take off from right to left. We feel quite a few of them will be left to right. Having said that,
landing up after the
will be the next aircraft, which is the Vulcan.
top height 8,300 feet.
Thanks, sir.
Figure 8, roger.
We're continuing. If we could just keep me updated on the F-16, I'm visual with them at the moment.
That's copied. Avoid the crowd if you can.
Roger.
Please take the chute off the runway with you.
Marshal, go. Come on. Coming round.
Well, I hope you enjoyed our new feature that we call Classic Cuts, and more little clips like that coming up next week. But right now, also from the Royal International Air Tattoo, going back a few years, here it is, the wonderful full display. Enjoy this. Of course, we know what it is. It's the Vulcan.
Northwest, not above altitude 2,800 feet. When you're happy, you clear takeoff and display. The surface wind is 270, 18 knots.
Falcon, clear takeoff and display media.
Stunning. There again you get that slimline view of this aircraft. And just to show as she approaches this time, she doesn't always have to make a lot of noise. She tiptoes up on you. You don't realize she's there. And you look up and see what the Americans call the aluminum overcast, as the sky goes dark when she flies over.
Well, a very big happy birthday for next week, if that's when it is there, Brad. And thank you for joining us.
Of course, the conditions are absolutely perfect for this because the light here is lovely with this beautiful blue sky and the puffy white clouds. How different from this morning. How lucky we are when the weather situation suddenly improves. Long display line, further down. Long doors opening. the way. That's the amazing, huge bomb bay that carried the 21,000 pounds of bombs, 1,000 pound bombs down to the Falkland Islands. On that amazing record-breaking trip at the time in 1982, it was the longest bombing raid in history. It's as far from here to Santiago in Chile, and it involved the whole of the Royal Air Force's air refueling capabilities with Victors and other Vulcans involved. But they got all the way there and back, and they dropped those 21 1,000-pound bombs on the runway at Fort Stanley. They hit the runway with 2 of them. Now, you might not think that's a very good proportion to be successful with, but these were Second World War dumb bombs, no guided bombs there. So if you wanted to be sure of hitting a target, you had to drop a lot of bombs, and you hoped that some of them would hit, and 2 did, and that was what was required. Bomb doors should be closing as she comes around this time, but you just get the last look at the size of that bomb bay. And Phil Davies in the AEO seat at the back is just about to operate the switch, and there it is. Towards the flaps. That's one of the things you can sign up for down at the Vulcan page. There's a whole plaque in there with lots of people's names on it who get to fly around in the Vulcan. And there, as you see her going away, once again you get that slimline look. One of the reasons she turned out to be stealthy, I discovered the other day, and it's been proved that she is, because in the red flag exercises with the Americans, they found it very difficult to pick her up on radar despite her size. And one of the reasons it turned out to be stealthy is because she's curved, lots of curves on her and no vertical surfaces, and that's what the P2 is the same. And of course the great Roy Chadwick, who designed this aircraft in 1946, and it first flew in 1952, so it was only 11 years after he first flown the Lancaster, yet they might be in different centuries, these 2 airplanes. And of course I don't think he can possibly have known about stealth, but somehow he just managed to get it right. I think he's going to make a noise. Wonderful shadow over the sheds on the far side of the airfield. Triangular shape. Well, not quite as much noise as I thought this time. He should be going into a spiral climb. If you're looking at her through binoculars, you may see that the air brakes are out. That's the air brakes, they stick out top and bottom of the wings. Actually, he may have decided not to do the spiral climb. But when he does that, they stick the air brakes out, because if he doesn't, she'll be up to 10,000 feet before you know where she is. But perhaps no spiral climb today, we shall see. We were saying earlier that we're hoping she's going to be around for next year. I can see the air brakes out now, because she's going to, we hope, take part see her do a loan plus a taxi charge. £4.50 of that at least will go to the Vulcan to the Sky Trust. So here is Kevin and Pod bringing her in off the low overshoot, bringing the gear up again. Climbing like a homesick angel. And I misled you. I said he was going to do an overshoot on the landing direction. He did it in the opposite direction. Now the gear's coming down again, and this will be in for her landing. Now because she's...
Vulcan, Roger, clear for land, runway 27. The surface wind is 25020 knots.
Clear land, gear down.
Well, I certainly hope you enjoyed that amazing display. I've got to be honest, I'd forgotten how special this version of the Vulcan was. The sky that particular day at the Royal International ATATU, as you just saw, it was absolutely amazing. Perfect for video and great for your photographs if you were there that particular year.
16 wheels down, 2 to go, and let's see how long they'll keep the nose wheels off the ground. Slowing down, looking like some great, enormous, prehistoric creature. How beautiful. How absolutely spectacular.
Definitely worth a round of applause. Definitely worth some hearts in the chat room and a few likes. The fabulous Vulcan from Royal International ATATU, right here on Air Show World. Stu Bear. Hi, it's Stu Bear from Air Show World, and I'm very proud to announce our sponsor, the Kent and Sussex Tea and Coffee Company. And for viewers of Air Show World, you can get yourself 15% off every single order. Just use the code AIRSHOW, AIRSHOW. It's all uppercase, and the link is underneath the video right now. That's the Kent and Sussex Tea and Coffee Company. And don't forget, if you like the best tea and coffee, you know where to get it from. Right there. The link is under the video. Gosh, we look very yellow today, don't we? It's the light that I've got at me. Well, one of the cats has decided to go somewhere else, but the other one is still fast asleep. And hey, what can we say? Thank you for watching the Fastest Aviation Show on YouTube. Pleased you enjoyed the new feature that we call Classic Cuts. Expect to see more of that. And hey, yeah, I've definitely got to do a little jingle for that for next week. And before I go, hey, because it's exactly 60 minutes time up, it's 8 o'clock right now. Before I go, Andrew Herbert's great to see you, mate. And we saw you on the video earlier. And Brad, happy birthday to you as well. I do some helicopters, I promise. Next week, when I was editing tonight's show, I didn't have much time this week at all because we've been away filming for the Travelling Bear YouTube channel. Don't forget, join us on there as well. The Travelling Bear with Stu Bear. But quick look in the chat room. You got 15 seconds, then the bear is out of here. Wishing you all a fantastic weekend. And Dick McVitie, good to see you as well. Mark Riches, Gary Inge, and everybody else. Karen Curran as well. And, oh, of course, Marcus Campfield. He's booked his tickets for the Shuttleworth Air Show. So, Marcus, we will see you there in, what is it? It's about 6 weeks away, 5 weeks, something like that. Okay, that's it. There is no more. I'll see you next Friday night for Friday Night Live. Fastest Aviation Show on YouTube. You better believe it. We'll see you. Have a great weekend and good night. Bye-bye for now. Good night.